Okay, so this is a video that I want to showcase the power of macro. I know FilterSC already did one, and I am basically blatantly just ripping him off, and I am very sorry for that, but I think it's important to include this video, just in case anyone who may be looking at the videos on my channel wants to learn a little more about how good macro really is. So I'm just gonna make this video, just for fun. This is my opponent. He's a Platinum Zerg. He agreed to help me out on this, making this video. He's not trying to throw the game. He's not playing badly on purpose. He is playing a legitimate game. I gotta say I'm just a little better than he is. Not to say that I'm very good. So he starts with a pretty standard hatchery, natural, nothing fancy going on, while I go for the 1 Rax fast expansion followed by 2 barracks. And I start pumping Marines immediately, grab my 2 gases, but all the while I am still pumping Marines. So even though I'm collecting gas right now, I am just getting a bunch of Marines because they're very good units. They walk into a bar and he asks where's the counter, and this is a way to keep my opponent's army and eco down, at least during the early game, so that I can macro up myself and show how out macroing your opponent can really turn the tide of the game. So as you can see, I am just constantly pumping units, constantly killing, but at the same time I'm also expanding. I'm throwing down more production facilities, I'm upgrading my tech. Fourth, I am just macroing like a beast. I'm not macroing like a beast, I'm not very good, but I am macroing like a beast compared to my opponent, who is stuck. And this part, I just donate a bunch of units just to show that I can. I just threw away something like, I'm not sure, of like 50 supply worth of units. But my follow-up army, I have so much supply, so much production, so much macro that I can afford to just toss away those units and just keep making the same thing. My opponent is not good enough macro-wise to keep up with my army and my worker production, so I'm already on like 5 or 6 bases, or at least creating 6 bases compared to his 3 that are only mining. And he thinks it was Banelings. He thinks I forgot Banelings. That's really not the case. Lower league players will say, I didn't make enough Baneling versus the Marines. I made too many Marines versus the Banelings. But as you can see, the reality is that all you need to do is macro, macro, macro. Production facilities everywhere. Not getting supply blocked like I did because I'm terrible and I keep having to drop supply. Keeping up on upgrades, another thing that I'm very bad at. I didn't do this game, mostly because I didn't really have to. I didn't even have combat shields or concussive shells. You see, that's just how powerful macro is. The more units you have, the more army you have, the more workers you have, the easier it will be to win a game.